Yes, my people. Yes, yes, yes. What's everyone saying? What's everyone saying? What's everyone saying? Everyone saying. Yo, 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 yo. What are we saying? We're live. We are live. Everyone's, of course, excited. Everyone's excited, of course. Great collab. This is what the streets have been waiting for. This is what the streets have been waiting for. This is the collab that we're waiting for. Lord, astaghfirullah, fam. Say wallah, you're calling another man Lord, fam. Say wallah, you're calling another man. Hey, that is crazy. Wait for the videos every day. Favorite channel. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. Yo, our favorite commentator. Hey, who watched me commentate the watch along SDS Baller League last Monday? What did you guys think? What did you guys think? Be honest though. Be honest. I don't mind if you guys criticize. I don't mind. Be honest. What did you guys make of it? What did you guys make of it? I hope your voice came back. I was shouting, bro. I was shouting hella. I was proper shouting that day, man. That was a good one. That was a very, very good one. I enjoyed it. Hey, yes, sir. John Terry, Halle Berry, Tom and Jerry, oh, the food Terry. STS in 5. Yeah. STS in 5, baby. Faysal, how did you forget Valverde? I did not forget it. By the way, a lot of people said it. I did not forget it. By the way, my editor made the list. And I asked them afterwards. Because I completely forgot Fede should have been part of it. I asked him the list afterwards, like, yo, where's Fede, by the way? Because a lot of comments are asking for it. He then said to me, which is a fair reason, he said to me, Real Madrid brought Fede to the Castilla. They didn't buy him for the actual first team squad. So that's why. So Fede is considered a Castilla more than anything else. That's why he never included him. But yeah, I pretty much said the same thing. You saw Argentina against Brazil or nah, the voice was a bit cooked, but on point, David Silva. Da Silva is on forward watch for the next couple of weeks. Da Silva had a stinky game. I can't lie. My favorite Haywan, Madrid treble, SDS FC for the. Oh, that's a tough one. Because now I'm part of it as well. That's a tough one. But guys, this is of course the collab which you guys have been waiting for. Literally, I can literally put it all down here. Where is it? People are excited for this one. People are absolutely excited for this one. And let's bring him here. The man himself.
Hey, what's up? I wasn't ready. I thought there was going to be some countdown drum roll or something. I was about to drink some coffee. What's up, man?
Drink it. You know what? Drink it and let me give you the introduction that you deserve. Drink your coffee. This is the man himself. For me, the GOAT, Real Madrid, the OG Real Madrid YouTuber. Of course, man like Kian. My brother, how are you, man?
Man, appreciate the kind words. I love you a lot. I miss talking to you. This season has been too much of a shit show for us not to talk more. We need to be around each other. We need to provide therapy for each other. It's been a tough year, brother. It's been a tough year.
It's been a very tough year, man. I think we need therapy.
Yeah.
I think this is more like a therapy session. A lot of Madrid fans have asked me, a lot of my subscribers have asked me, yo, when are you chatting to Kian? When is the next stream? I think I chose the perfect time just before crunch time. And of course, with the news of Trent and Zubimendi and Huijsen, so much to talk about. How, in simple words, where should we start? Where should we start? Should we start with, did you expect this? Should we start with the manager? Where do you want to start this? It's up to you.
Well, first thing is I would like to congratulate you on the signing of your son. If I mean, you must have been. We kind of had an idea, I guess, that Trent
Mhm.
was coming, but
I am more than delighted. I think
yeah.
I'm excited. I can see him fitting perfectly. I would love to hear your thoughts about it as well. But I kind of had an idea. I think we both had an idea over the past year that this was happening. But now to finally see it happening, free agent as well. Just that's important to bear in mind. But he can fit in so perfectly under the right manager.
It's an interesting kind of asterisk you put on it. So I just want to say this right off the bat because you see a lot of people coming out and saying he can't defend, liability. So to me, I just don't understand it personally because every single player has a cost benefit analysis, right?
Mhm.
They have strengths, they have weakness. Marcelo was one of the greatest offensive left backs of all time, arguably the greatest offensive left back of all time. Couldn't defend, but because he was so great offensively, it didn't matter that he couldn't do that. Same
Mhm.
thing, like Mbappe is generational. He doesn't really press or defend, but who cares if he gives you 40 to 50 goals a season? Um, Mendy was so good at his peak defensively that didn't really matter that he can't attack. Now it kind of matters because he's not defending well either.
Mhm.
But this is Trent. I mean, he's heading into his peak. He's 27. I'm not entirely sure what we're worried about here. The right manager should be able to figure out the balance, the two-way balance of Rodrigo and Fede and Trent on that right wing, and it should be incredible. It should be the greatest right wing in sports. Like
Absolutely.
it should be fireworks. So we can't just sit here and say, well, Trent is not a good signing because he's not good at this or good at that. And like every single player has strengths and weaknesses. Trent is one of the greatest offensive right backs we have ever seen. The numbers back that up. He is a complete anomaly when it comes to attacking from that position. He look at the things we suck at: ball progression, set pieces,
I was
crosses
just
from the
about
right side, overloads. Like
I'm happy you mentioned set pieces. I was just about to say that. When Kian, I'm going to be so honest with you. When is the last time you can remember Real Madrid scoring from a corner?
uh, I know this is the wrong answer, but the Champions League final. I'm sure there's been
That
one
is
or two after that.
exactly the same answer as mine.
Yeah.
We suck. I did some research last week. Do you again? I don't expect you to know this. Where do you think Real Madrid rank in terms of La Liga teams in terms of set pieces from corners, threat in terms of goals or anything since 2021, 2022?
Oh, since then, in La Liga, in terms of how many set pieces they've scored from,
Mm-hmm.
10th.
17th.
Oh, that's
17th.
way worse than I thought it was going to be.
17th. It's
Damn.
bad, bro. It's bad. Every time I see Luka Modric stepping up for a corner, I know it's not beating the first man. And now when you add someone like Trent, who again, Trent is not the best set piece taker, but his ability on the wing or free kicks, I think it unlocks. Like I said, I'm happy you mentioned Fede because I think Fede will play a massive part of it. What do you think? And again, I don't want to stay on Trent too much, but what do you think the relationship between Fede and Trent will be like? Because I do think in game it's going to be switching a lot. Sometimes it's going to be Trent in the midfield. Sometimes
Yeah,
I'm going to see Fede as a right back. How do you foresee it happening?
I love that. First of all, I think Trent is going to love Fede because he's going to be the best right CM he's ever played with.
Yep.
And I also just the fact that we got to see Fede at right back a couple times this season, and hopefully we will see him at right back against Arsenal twice, against PSG twice, and then whoever we play in the final. He has to be starting at right back at this point over Vasquez. But the fact that we've seen how good he is and how much our offense actually changes with Fede at right back, it like gives me confidence to be like, these guys could just kind of play interchangeably.
Absolutely.
They can cover for each other. One can attack, one can defend. I'm actually pretty excited about it.
Bro, same here. And then, of course, the news. You know what? Let's leave the transfers a little bit later. This season, we're still second in La Liga. We're in the Champions League quarterfinals, as you mentioned just now, against Arsenal. And of course, we've got the semi-final of the Cup of the Rey next week against Sociedad. We won the first leg 1-0. How do you rank this season? Are you happy? Did you expect this with Mbappé?
No, but it's weird because it's too early to say because we've been really bad, but we're still in the thick of 3 competitions somehow. So we might stumble into 1 or 2. I'm not going to say 3 major trophies because it's impossible at Real Madrid. But you could do 1 or 2 major trophies after having such a poor season, and we would probably by the end of it consider that part of it a success, obviously. But this has been, I've counted without exaggeration 2 games where I thought after the game was finished, I was like, oh, we played good. Those
Ooh.
2 games were against City. In no other
Okay.
game this season did I come away, after even the games we won, did I come away thinking, wow, that was a great game. It's like even the wins are kind of therapy sessions at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm not really counting, like, if we played really well against X team that sucks, I don't really count that. I'm talking about like meaningful games. I don't even know what games those would be, but Atletico was a grind over 2 games, man. That was tough to watch. That was, speaking of set pieces, Faysal, remember that period in the second leg against Atletico when Lucas Vasquez was taking all of our set pieces? I thought at that point, I thought to myself, if there's anything that can override our Champions League DNA, it's going to be this.
Yeah.
We can go down swinging. We can't go down swinging with Lucas Vasquez taking our set pieces at the Metropolitano. It was a disaster. But it's just been not exciting. And to your question, I'm surprised. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. In fact, I was 180. I was heading into the season, I thought we were just going to dominate teams and destroy teams, and it was going to be Mbappe and Vinny murdering teams in transition. Bellingham was going to be unchained because he doesn't have to attack as much. He can play deeper roles. I think Bellingham's actually had a good year, so I don't really
I
want to knock
agree.
him.
I fully agree. I fully
We've
agree.
had individuals have good years. Like Fede's been great this year.
I can count. To be honest, to be completely honest with you, in terms of individuals, and if we're basing it consistency from August till now, I can only count 3 players
Okay.
from the start of the season till now, and that is Thibaut,
Fede.
Fede,
Okay.
and Jude.
Asensio?
Everyone, Raul, I would, but Raul came in November.
Yeah.
But I think Raul right now is undroppable. One of our most important player. Vinny was great start of the season. 2025 hasn't been good. Rodrigo hit and miss. Camavinga had a bad 2 months start of the year. Chimeni started bad. I think he's getting better. Everyone has had moments. Mbappe, we all know about.
Yeah.
I think the game against Atalanta sold me a dream in the Super Cup where we won 2-0. I saw Jude Bellingham in a complete different role. I think that was, by the way, one of the best performances I've seen from Jude.
Yeah.
Into time in Madrid.
Yeah.
I saw how he scored. Mbappe, Rodrigo. That sold me a dream. And then literally the game after that, we drew away from home in the first La Liga game. I think it was. Was it? We drew our first La Liga game. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure we did. If my memory stands me correct, or if the comments. But then that was basically the decider. Like, okay, actually, Mallorca.
That's right.
People are quick. Mallorca.
Well, we know we drew against Vallecano first. Oh, sorry, no, I'm looking at the wrong part of the schedule. Yeah, whatever the chat says is, I'm sure it's Mallorca 1-1 away from
Mallorca,
home. Yeah.
and then I think we won the second game at home, and then we drew the third game
Yes.
away from home.
Yeah.
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 This season, you said it perfectly. I can only think of two games that we've actually played well this season, and it's both game against City. But by the way, a quick disclaimer: let's be honest, yeah, City is bad, so I think that's
Yeah.
why we played well.
Everyone looked good against City this year. That's the problem.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I at the very least, thank God that Mbappe woke up a little bit because remember, like I think it was around November when we had within 1 week
The two penalty misses.
the two penalty misses against Liverpool and Athletic.
Bilbao, yeah,
At
Bilbao.
that point, everyone was at rock bottom. Like it was DEFCON 1. Thank God Mbappe just got his shit together a little bit and is now scoring and playing much better. And I still don't think he's at his best, but he's
I agree.
definitely much better than he was at that time. And then that week from hell, there was like 4-1 against Milan, I think, and then 4-0 against Barca. I think that was within 1 week.
Yeah,
Or I could be
yeah,
messing up the timelines. I don't know,
it
but it
is.
was
It is.
close to each other. It's improved since then. I don't know. But it's not where it needs to be.
Nowhere near. You mentioned Mbappe. Do you think? How can I ask this in the best possible ways? Did you expect this version of Mbappe early the season, or are you surprised that it's taken him this long?
I'm not surprised that it would take him a while to get going because it's a new league in a new country, and no matter how great you are, there's gonna be time. There's gonna be time for adjustment periods, right? Having said that, I don't even really know what this conversation even means because how many goals does he have right now? Like this is a down year for him.
He's got what 37 GAs?
He's over 30,
Yeah,
so
30, yeah,
his
31
the
goals across
numbers
all
are
clubs.
great. Yeah, and so I mean, I think where I'm maybe uh the thing is, like, I actually think Mbappe has been far from our problem, and I think you would probably agree with that.
I agree.
The weird thing is that Mbappe and Vinny right now are missing easy chances, but scoring really difficult chances.
Yeah,
And so we've been generating enough offense lately where it hasn't mattered as much that they're missing those chances because we've been creating enough, and our defense has improved. Our defense still has a lot of problems, but our defense now compared to what it was in like November, October,
oh, much
December,
better,
January,
much
it's
better,
way better now.
much
Part
better.
of that I think has to do with Asensio coming in a little bit.
I agree.
Um, and Carlo finally figuring out that Vasquez cannot play right back. He's just going to get destroyed every single game he plays there. So
It
that's
took him.
helped.
It took him 7 months.
It took him a while.
It took him a while.
The thing about that City game too, Faisal, is that second leg, the 3-0, the Mbappe hat trick. It's a shame we'll never really get to see that team again because Ceballos got injured. Ceballos was a huge part of how good we looked that night.
Oh, I'm happy you mentioned him. It's crazy the redemption arc he's had this season. Where last season we're thinking, why the hell is he still part of the team? And now you're seeing him as again. I'm not comparing them ability wise, but I think he's the closest thing that we have to Tony Cruz. By the way,
Yeah,
Tony Cruz leaving has hurt us massively, and I think
of
Trent.
course. Yeah,
I'm sure we haven't added it, but I think Trent coming in will replace maybe 50% of the creation that Tony Cruz had in that midfield. But so, you mentioned it. Ceballos went down. Ceballos, to be fair, do you think he's going to stay next season? Because I know he extended his contract.
yeah.
Do you
I
think
think he will. Yeah,
he will stay next season?
he will stay, and I think. I mean, I don't know if he'll stay out the entire remainder of the contract. I imagine he will, but from both his side and Real Madrid's side, it makes no sense to split because Real Madrid, even if they wanted to go out in the market and find a player with that specific profile who's already meshed with his teammates, is ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be hard to find. And Ceballos is not really gonna find a better position because finally Real Madrid are trusting him. The bigger issue about Ceballos is not even about like his performances, it's about can he stay healthy. He's way too
Two
stop
exactly.
start. Like he's got to be more durable. I know that's not really his fault, but we need more durable players. I guess like this is a football problem though. Like everyone is struggling
Mm-hmm.
with durability.
Mm-hmm.
People are injured constantly. But if
Absolutely.
Ceballos could be healthy for like 6, 7 months of the season, man, it would help. It would help a lot.
And in terms of you mentioned earlier Vinny and Mbappe. Yeah, I'm happy you mentioned it perfectly because you said they're missing easy chances. I've seen the narrative that's been going online on social media that they've got a bad relationship. They can't function with each other. I just think they've been unfortunate. The GAs doesn't reflect how good they've actually been because I think Vinny has created so many chances for Mbappe. It's not the best of relationships, but they're
Yeah.
getting better. Do you think I had a call-in show the other day, and a Madrid fan came in and said, I don't want to see Vinny on the left anymore. I want to see Rodrigo on the left. That would never happen. Okay.
Right.
Vinny will never be benched to Rodrigo. He will
Yeah.
never be moved on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Do you think there will be a world of Real Madrid on the Carlo, Xabi Alonso, whoever it is? Can we see a world that Vinny on the left, Mbappe up front, Rodrigo can work consistently? Because you mentioned it earlier in terms of how many good games have we had. I cannot recall one game that all three of them played well. I can recall games which two of them did well, one of them played well, but I can't recall a game which all three of them played well as a collective.
I think it can work. And I think a lot of this has been overblown about like, can this work? And I'm not saying it has been lights out or great. And like you mentioned, when was the last time, if there was a time where we saw all three of them on the pitch at the same time perform in a big game together?
Mhm.
But I think this conversation of can these guys play together is overblown, because what's happening is that it's not really a function of these guys not being able to play together. It's that they're just fluctuating in who's in form, and they're not really in form at the same time. Vinny, we already know, can play on the left, and obviously the other two can too. Mbappe and Rodrigo can play on the left. We've seen Mbappe adapt and play in a central forward position and play it really well. Rodrigo can play well in any position. So what is stopping us from just seeing these guys cook together? It's essentially like they're missing chances that they would take normally.
Mhm.
You mentioned Vinny setting up Mbappe a million times to start the season from the left, and then Mbappe, if he was in form and if he was playing in stride and in with momentum, he'd be putting those chances away.
Mm.
I don't think there's an issue with like left wing, right wing. I think these guys can play together.
So what is it? Is it coaching? Because I think it's a coaching problem. Is it a midfield problem, which I think it is as well?
Yeah, okay. So I think where the coaching comes in is that a lot of our game plan is to just hit Vinny and Mbappe in transition.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of turns, I mean, you and I are basketball fans. It kind of turns into iso ball sometimes. You
Oh,
know,
way too much.
the ball gets on the left and Vinny will take 1, 2, 3 players on. He'll cut back and try to beat that same guy again. And meanwhile, he should have passed it sooner or whatever. That's not a function of like, does Vinicius need to be on the left wing or middle on the right? That's like, you remember when Carlos said a couple years ago where Vinny needed to simplify the game and take 1 or 2 touches before
Yes.
he shoots or something like that? I
Yes.
don't remember the exact quote, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and that helped Vinny a lot to just channel his game and be more efficient and be more
Mm-hmm.
direct. And I think with the way, kind of like the difference I see in playing styles with Vinny and Mbappe
Mm-hmm.
right now when Mbappe has been getting the ball down the middle or on the left, he's very decisive. He's very quick. He knows where the ball is going. He'll beat his man if he needs to, escape pressure. He'll distribute the ball out wide. It's often to Rodrigo or somebody else, and then he'll sprint into a goal scoring position. Like there's a purpose and an efficiency to the way he's playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if Vinny can kind of get on the same wavelength with Mbappe, the thing is, like, at some point you also have to understand that, and not only you, just like in general, we have to understand that when you have a player as great as Vinicius and you give him freedom to do some brilliant things, it kind of comes with the territory that he's going to take a bunch of players on. He's going to make a bunch of mistakes. He's going to
Yeah.
lose the ball a bunch, but
Mm-hmm.
he's also going to do things that nobody on earth can do ever.
I
He'll
agree.
cook his man like 5 times and lose at 15. And those 5 times will be brilliant and it will lead to a goal scoring chance. So it's kind of tricky. Like I'm sure it's not easy to kind of manage that and try to figure that out. Um,
But it's also not. But it's also not fun having Vinny as your best player in a lot of games, specifically the game against Atleti away from home. So many games in the Champions League where he's the one on the pitch who touches the ball the fewest. I saw a stat. I'm not sure if that. I'm not sure if the stat is true. The chat can confirm, or whether you can confirm. The second leg against Atleti, Vinny touched the ball fewer than Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, and that was kind of weird because there has been outlier games this season like that one where so much of our play generally goes to the left and then all of a sudden it only goes to the right and we don't see much of Vinny at all.
Exactly.
So uh I think, you know what I will say, like the beginning of the season, I wasn't entirely sure where Rodrigo would fit into all this because we all agreed Vinny can't be benched, Mbappé can't be benched, and Bellingham can't be benched. And there's only so many other positions left because Fede can't be benched. And then all of a sudden, you're choosing basically between Camavinga
Not too
and
many.
Tchouaméni and Rodrigo for that last spot, right? And I think, to Rodrigo's credit, he's pretty much silenced all kinds of critics, including me, in terms of like just proving how valuable he is. And I always said, like, if there was a perfect third attacker to complement two players who don't really defend, it's Rodrigo, because he basically defends like a midfielder. When we switched to that 4-4-2 with Rodrigo on the right and Bellingham on the left on defense, Rodrigo kind of reminded me in a weird way, and it's obviously not exactly like this, but kind of like Di Maria, in that he's basically defending like a midfielder right now and attacking like a forward. And it's really impressive to watch him kind of navigate that role.
Do you think? So, I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you think it's down to Rodrigo, which again he's played well, or do you think it's just circumstances? I think he's lucky that Militao got an ACL, that Chimeni had to go to centre back. I think he's lucky that it's from September on October, Chimeni got injured, Camavinga got injured, and Jude got injured. Do you think, if let's be honest, if we had our full 11 from August, September, October, I think the midfield would have been the same midfield that we saw in some of the games of Chimeni, Jude, Kama, and Fede.
Yeah, that's what I had assumed too. That we would see Tchouaméni as the 6, Camavinga and Fede as the 8, and then Jude and Vinny and Rodrigo. I mean Mbappe.
But now looking at it, that team we've seen a couple times. I think there was one game we witnessed it against Barcelona. Was it Barcelona that all four of them played? That we lost 4-0 at home?
Maybe. I mean, we see all 4 of them on the pitch regularly now.
A lot, but in different positions.
Yeah.
But that 4-man midfield, I think we did a couple times. It didn't work out completely due to I don't know why, the lack of creation.
You're right. It's a little bit different now in that Rodrigo has taken on a deeper midfield role. And I think obviously a lot of it will be down to him and a lot of it will be down to what Carlo needs. You know, if sometimes in these cases the most versatile player gets punished the most. Because when you have two superstars who are going to play their roles, they're not going to defend and press much. Although in Vinny's case, I would say that he generally is a hardworking defensive player, but sometimes we don't get that, and it's kind of random, like that time where, in the Clasico, there were plenty of examples of this where Vinny was just kind of walking around, right? We had that example of against Atletico where Jude was livid with Vinny because he dribbled, tried to take players on, lost it, and then Jude has to like basically sacrifice his body for the greater good.
Which he's done a lot of times this season, by the way, Jude. He sacrificed his whole.
Man, Jude is something else. The Jude dialogue, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
People don't get it with him at all. And I think it's literally because he's an athletic player. So all of a sudden they bin him in like the athletic striker category just because he's not short.
Yeah.
But like the guy that assist he had the other day for England was ridiculous.
and they think
Anyways,
he can't create.
that just makes no sense. But yeah, I mean, how many times have we seen Jude be like the only guy who's sprinting back out of the attackers? So
Mhm.
credit to Carlo in that he's gotten Vinny and Mbappe to defend a little bit more in these Champions League knockout games. I don't think you're going to get them to do that every game, but if you can at least get them to do that in these knockout games, then it would be a huge help. What do you think of, you think about next year with, Trent, another guy who's going to be very attacking minded, Vinny and Mbappe in the team. Do we need a different brand of football to kind of mask
Does
just the
that?
amount of bodies we're going to have in the final third?
I think that leads perfectly to the Zubimendi news. Do you? Because it came out yesterday, but which, by the way, is crazy. Over the past week, we've seen Trent confirmed, Zubimendi, and of course Dean Houston. But do we need Zubimendi? I'm going to be so honest. I'm going to answer that question first. You would think we do, because we've got a midfielding issue in terms of creating with the ball and in terms of getting the ball forward. I don't think we need.
I lost you. Can you hear me? I don't know if it was me or you, but you cut out. Maybe the people in the chat can confirm if it's me or you. Oh, I can hear you now, I think. No, I can't. No, I can't. Okay, well, can you hear me? All right, I'll answer the Zubimendi thing. Yeah, they're saying it's I think your mic. No, we can't hear you. While you figure that out, I'll answer the Zubimendi thing. I think he's a good squad player to have. I don't see him as a essential signing, maybe a luxury signing. I would rather give those minutes to Tchouaméni and Camavinga. But, and I don't really know what those conversations are like yet. I don't think it's confirmed. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of role he accepts. So that's kind of where I stand on it. But I don't see Zubimendi as an essential signing by any means. Give it a shot. No. Should we just turn this into a Managing Madrid stream until you get back? Throw me some super chats. I have no power here. All the keys to the car. Oh, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back. Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
You're back.
Thank God.
We got
thank
through it, bro.
God,
Woo!
Thank God. Woo. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. But sorry. You know what? That's one person who what sets Mbappe apart is his elite skill set and the quick decision making, all at top speed with minimal touches.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that even even when he was struggling at the beginning of the season, these training clips would come out and they're just like, how did he get there so quickly, surrounded, like just a step over, like the change of pace is superhuman.
Absolutely.
I don't think I've ever seen someone like do stuff like that since Ronaldo Nazario.
Do you think the interview changed it? He came out in December with that interview.
Which one was that? Refresh
The
my memory.
one with the French media outlet.
Oh,
Where
yeah. And he was talking about some of the stuff with PSG.
PSG,
Yeah.
the whole Sweden allegations
Right.
stuff, and then they asked him about his current time with Madrid. He said, "Well, I've had mental problems early on the start of the season, but I think now expect me second part of the season to do what I do best." And I can't lie, he's managed to do it very, very well, very, very well.
There's no question that there was some off-field stuff going on with him.
Yeah,
I think that was affecting him. There was no question about that. There was something about his brother too, right?
his brother. Yes, he mentioned. If my memory stands me correct, he said that if my brother told me to stay at Paris Saint-Germain, I would stay.
Yeah.
And
But
then
I seem to remember something that they were treating his brother was being treated badly too, or something like that. Yeah, but there was clearly like a lot of stuff on his mind.
mm. But this, listen, do you think centre back? Do you think left back? Both or one of them is a must for this summer?
Left back is a must. Center back, if with the emergence of Asensio, and I'm not saying like I'm that thrilled about like Militao and Alaba necessarily, but at least you have those positions covered. I I don't think neither Mendy or Fran Garcia are starting
Oh no,
caliber at Real
absolutely,
Madrid.
absolutely.
What the market at the left back situation isn't great either. Like you can bring back Miguel. Is anyone jumping out at you?
After one tie against Liverpool, Nuno Mendes.
It's not a bad shout. I mean, it was like who who are you dealing with here? Like
Yeah, I
like
know.
it's
I know.
it's impossible.
Impossible. And I think he extended his contract last year, I believe, to 2028. But you said it perfectly. It's only, I think we missed the chance of Alfonso. I think Alfonso was right
Yeah.
there. I know I think he got an ACL. I saw that.
Yeah.
Is it true? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's out for the next 7 months, but maybe that's
Yeah.
a blessing. But Alfonso was the only guy that I looked at. People in the chat are saying DeMarco. I'm like, DeMarco, if you watch Inter Milan, he plays more as a left wing back more than anything else. So if there is no world in hell I'm going to have DeMarco and Trent on the same team. Like, it makes no sense.
I mean, yeah, it's the market isn't great, and some of the best left backs in the world, like you're not going to sign them, right? And maybe Grimaldo, he's a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't know how much he's necessarily going to move the needle for you. Miguel is a good, promising player that I would bring back just to see what we have with him, and I've actually liked him overall in the last few years.
He said it perfect. The left back market is just bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless we expect Mendy to become the player that he is. Have you got more faith in Mendy or Fran Garcia? Let's say next season, both of them stay in Madrid. We don't sign no left back.
At least with Mendy, we've seen it in big games. We've seen him lock down the best wingers in the world. But I just don't know that version of Mendy still exists. Now, to be fair, we kind of had this conversation last year because Mendy was really bad. And then in the Champions League knockouts, he actually performed. Mm-hmm. So we've actually seen it with Mendy before. Fran Garcia, God bless his heart. He works hard. He's positive. I think
that's the best way of describing someone. God bless his heart.
This is the most backhanded compliment ever. He works hard. I mean, I look. He's a positive player. He attacks. He puts good crosses in. I just feel like he's so chaotic and raw and unchanneled that between the two, if I had to choose like a run-of-the-mill game, I'd probably go with Fran Garcia on a regular game and then maybe Mendy in a big game. But neither options excite me. I actually, to be quite honest, if you put a gun to my head and I could just have the keys, I would put Camavinga at left back. He's our best two-way left back.
Okay, how about this? I'll give you. Shall I give you a world that what we can do next season under a different manager?
Sorry, say that again.
What if I give you a scenario of next season how we can play?
Okay, yeah, I'm excited to hear it.
3 at the back. 2 wing backs in Camavinga and Trent.
Yeah.
Raul, Rudiger, Tchouameni. And then Fede, Jude just above them. And then we've got Mbappé, Vini, Rodrigo.
Can I tell you the truth?
Yes.
I love it. But I don't see that happening. Like 3 at the back at Real Madrid is so rare. And like the one guy who probably would have brought it, Xabi, doesn't seem like he's coming next year.
Yeah. Does it excite? How do you feel with the possibility of seeing Carlo next season at Real Madrid? And I know, for me, it pains me every day.
Yeah. The idea of him staying, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. M- This has been a really bad year. We've played horrible.
But we can still win a treble.
Could still win a trouble, and then I mean, it would be so funny if like the first time we ever win a treble, it's this year, like the worst year ever. But he could win the Champions League. He could win the league, and then after the season's over, everyone is gonna say, "Told you so." Have patience.
Yeah.
Don't be so reactionary. And then he
Yeah.
stays. And then now his second year, not his pattern is kind of like good first year, doesn't retain titles, and then wins third year, doesn't retain titles. So I
Yep.
think next year would be the good year, right?
Yeah.
Next year would be the good year.
If you follow the Carlo Ancelotti career path, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that was out of his control. Lack of signings in certain positions, a million injuries. It's been tough. But there are plenty of things that we can criticize him about fairly, which we've done a million times. But going back to a question you originally posed at the beginning of this podcast, which was under the right manager with Trent.
Mhm.
I guess my concern with Trent is, look, he's a great player. I think Klopp kind of formulated the perfect system for him. And I think if you have Vinny and Mbappe and Trent, you know, and not many players defending, and then the players who are defending are being run into the ground, like Jude, like Fede,
Mhm.
do you need to come up with a system that masks some of those defensive deficiencies? And do you need to win the ball higher up the pitch? Do you need to have a system that covers well for these pieces? And I guess my question is, if you're going to play with Trent basically as a right winger, if you're going to have Mbappe and Vinny not pressing and all this stuff, these are all questions. I don't have answers, but these are all the questions I would ask. Can Carlo come up with the right system to mask these defensive deficiencies? And
No.
that's where I'd be skeptical of. Now, I don't know. I don't, maybe another manager does or doesn't. I don't know. But these are the questions I would have. I still think Trent would be a great signing. Bring him in for reasons we've already stated. But those are the questions I would have.
I mean, it's what this is. Of course, what this guy said. Trent, the guy that can't defend. One person, by the way, shout out for the people who's been sending super chats. This guy gave a potential lineup for next season, and I just disregarded your lineup completely because there is one person that you don't have in your team, which is Real Madrid's most important player. Makes no sense. How can you have an 11 and not have Fede Valverde? But great lineup though.
I had to read it 10 times to make sure I wasn't missing him. Maybe I was having a seizure or something.
But listen, we said it perfectly on paper, and if we follow the Carlo Ancelotti career path, this season we're going to win the Copa del Rey, we're going to lose the league, the Champions League, and the next season we're going to win the league, win the Champions League, but not win the Copa del Rey. Carlo has never retained a trophy in his career. So I don't expect him. It's like the Super Cup. We won the Super Cup last season. We could have won it back to back this season. We lost 5-2 in the final. So he doesn't retain. I personally, let me put it out there because I'm going to ask you the question. I don't think we are going to win the league. I think the league, personally speaking, the league is over for me.
Okay.
I've seen I think the game against Atleti, against Barca, was the decider. And the fact that Atleti bottled a 2-0 lead with 15 minutes to go and they lost 4-2, it's just typical Atleti against Barcelona. I've seen the remainder of the games. Yes, they've got the game tomorrow against Osasuna and then on Sunday. They've only got one difficult game. One difficult game. And as crazy as it sounds, it's not even against us. I expect them to beat us. The only difficult game is the game week 38 at San Mamés against Bilbao. Do I expect Real Madrid to win every single game from now till the end of the season? No. I can see us dropping point again randomly.
Yeah.
But do I see us going to Barcelona at New Camp and picking up 3 points? Absolutely not. I will. The idea of a classical, because I saw the clip that you posted, by the way, and again,
Which one?
where you said if Real Madrid and Barcelona played an El Clasico final,
Oh yeah.
it would be, I would go with 51-49. I understood your reasoning.
Yeah.
And you said it perfectly. Real Madrid, they don't lose El Clasico. They don't lose finals in general, Champions League final. Please no, because I think this is where the streak will end.
Let me ask you something. If you knew you would lose to Barca in the final, would you rather be eliminated now?
Yes.
Fuck the prize money.
Yes. I don't want to see an El Clasico loss in a Champions League final. Please no.
Okay, my follow-up question would be: would you roll the dice with a Clasico final now? Would you take it? Would you sign up for it in general, like before knowing the score? Like, would you go into it? Would you say yes?
Wait, say that again.
Clasico final.
Mm-hmm. Right
yes
now.
Or no? Just in general. Yeah. Like would you take it?
No.
So you have no confidence at all.
No confidence
in that situation.
If we had Zidane as a manager, my answer would have been hell yes. With Carlo, I'll be so honest. I don't have no faith we can. That's why I'm hoping Atleti wins next week in the second leg in the Copa.
Right.
That's why I hope Inter Milan or Bayern Munich does the job, because I don't think Dortmund will do the job. I don't want to see them in the final, in the Copa del Rey, or the Champions League final. I've seen enough this season, and I've seen how they play this season. They haven't lost a single game 2025.
Yeah. So I agree with you. And I think you and any other Real Madrid fan are completely justified in having no confidence against Barcelona, because we've seen it this season. And this is obviously specific to this season. This is not like a general Real Madrid Barcelona. This season. We, after that 4-0 Clasico, months had passed. And then our delusional asses came to the stream. We're like, that was months ago. We're better. Barca are worse. We've learned from that game. And then we just were worse. And so we didn't have a pattern of like improving against them. In fact, we got worse and we looked worse. And that was not a good sign. I just...
Oh, hold on. Wait. Let me flip the question to you now.
Uh-huh.
Do you want a classical final? I'm asking you right now.
No, it wouldn't be my first choice.
And then let me ask the second question you asked me. If you knew you're losing against Barcelona, would you lose now?
I'd probably lose in the semifinals. Go as far as you can, and then. but also I would obviously lose before the final, in part because if we're gonna lose to them, then at least you give the keys to PSG and see if they can pull it off. You know what I mean? Like you have the Dembele, Luis Enrique revenge arc kind of thing happening, and then I actually
I don't think. By the way, I know we're talking about potential classical final. I don't think Barca will reach the final in the first place.
Who's stopping them? Inter or Bayern?
Inter, not Bayern. Inter.
Yeah, I said the same thing. My prediction was Inter get to the final from that side of the bracket.
I agree. I've got Real Madrid, Inter Milan in the final.
Yeah, me too. I think and I also think Inter have a better chance of beating them than we do.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's crazy. Inter have conceded 2 goals in the Champions League this season.
Mm-hmm.
They're intelligent, competent, very disciplined tactically, have a great manager, and they don't shit the bed in transition when they take their chances. They're over 2 legs. They're just difficult to beat. So I took Inter, but I obviously wouldn't be surprised if Barca beat them, but I took Inter.
What about the league? Because for me, the league is done. I said it earlier. Do you think you've got faith, or is it the hope that kills you?
It's a very interesting question. I mean, this whole podcast really, Faysal, is like just straight. It's a straight up loser podcast. We're like, well, listen, like we're tied with Barca. in the league. Obviously, they have a game in hand, and we have a path to the Champions League final, and they have a path to the Champions League final. And we're talking like the season is over, and I always say, like, it's always moments like this, like it's almost like the worse Real Madrid are, the more confidence I get in a weird way, because this is just kind of like this. The Real Madrid story is like everyone will doubt them, including us, and then they'll
Yes.
just wake up and get it together. Even if it's like it doesn't even they don't even have to get it together for a game. They have to get it together for one moment, and they do that. Like Dortmund, Courtois coming up big, and then we take care of business on the other end once or twice a game, and that's it. And the season's
Let me
over.
show you
Real Madrid
something which
champion.
I've learned how to do the other day.
Okay.
Thank you to technology. And I would recommend you maybe do it every now and then in your stream. Have a look at this. I had no idea I could do this.
Okay.
This is us. 60 point, 60 point.
Yeah.
You know how misleading this is, by the way? So now I look at our games, and that's why I asked you the question.
Uh-huh.
Do I see Barca winning every game? Yes, I do, except for maybe the Bilbao game. Do I see, okay, Leganes? Yeah, I expect to win at home against Leganes. I mean, it'll be embarrassing if we don't. This, okay, we reached the final. Valencia, okay, that's nice. Vinny, he gets his revenge at home. Okay. Forget this. Forget the Champions League. Now this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
Oh,
and this.
Getafe away is going to be disgusting.
This, disgusting. I can already see a no. This. So that's why I said earlier, we can wait. We can hope for Barca to drop a point there and there. But do I see us dropping points and winning every single game? Absolutely not.
You know, it's funny because I wish it was as simple as saying if we win against Barca at the Montjuic, it's, game on. But it's going to be those games where I'm concerned about. Obviously, I'm concerned about Barca, but those games that you're outlining in the schedule, yeah. And it's funny because we're going. Maybe if it was a situation where we were out of the other two tournaments, specifically the Champions League, then you can focus on the league. It's a little bit different. But you're going to be like that random game. I forget which one it was that you had on the schedule in between the Arsenal games. Was it Alaves?
Alaves.
Like Carlo explicitly writes in his book, and this goes back to 2015, that the club told him, focus on the Champions League. So if you got to rest players, you do it in the league. Like prioritize.
But Fede still plays.
Oh, Fede will literally one leg, he'll be on the field. Yeah.
Fede is not allowed to be rested, and Jude is not allowed to be rested. You know what? Very good mention of resting. What do you think's happened to a specific player named?
Arda Güler.
Do you think it's over?
No, it's not over. Come on, man. He's like, is he even 20 yet? How old
Do you
is he?
think the reason why it's no? Do you think it's over with Carlo? If Carlo, I came out the other day, and I said, if Carlo stays, he needs to go and learn.
So you think basically if Carlo stays, Güler is basically done and dusted?
Not done and dusted. More like we're going to see the same treatment as Sabasli mentioned, 1,088 minutes. We're going to see that next season as well. And by the way, I don't blame Carlo specifically for that, by the way. I think, let me just, very interesting, screen sharing. I don't blame Carlo specifically for that, by the way. I blame Carlo and I blame Arda as well. Sure. I don't think Arda's been very impressive.
Agree.
Over the past couple of months when he's coming off the bench. I think he's forcing a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think he's shown a bit selfish, very selfish traits, which I don't blame, by the way. I think he needs to impress. And I think he feels like if I don't score, I'm going to be disregarded. So I understand his perspective on it, but it hasn't helped him at all.
No, it hasn't.
I think in terms of the picking order, he's so far below.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like when he's on the field, he's in his head. Like he feels over eager to impress, and he just needs to slow it down and let the game come to him a little bit instead of forcing things and trying to make use of those minutes. Because I think what he's doing is actually compounding the problem. But I I forget where I saw the stat, but like his second season minutes are like not dissimilar to maybe it was Rodrigo, who eventually worked his way in. I could
Oh,
be wrong
really?
on that. Please,
Okay.
please, like don't quote me on that. But
Okay.
it's not like for a second season young player to have 1,000 minutes is not unheard of.
Hmm.
Uh, I assume his minutes will gradually increase as his career, unfolds. I also think this is like a classic, it's kind of cliche, but sophomore slump, man. Second years are painful for a lot of players. Scouting report comes out and like, oh shit, this guy can ball. Arda last season in his limited minutes was an absolute like unstoppable force. He was like by the end of the season in the limited minutes he played, I think he like led the Big Five leagues in goals per shot or something like that. He was
Hmm.
incredibly efficient in his like 1 minute cameos. Obviously, it means nothing. The sample size is tiny, but like he had a great Euros, and then he's in a situation now where if you think back to the beginning of the season, Carlo tried him in midfield
Hmm.
because he was trying to find solutions in the post Cruz era in terms of ball progression, and we had so many wingers and Rodrigo and Brahim who are right now better than him, and they need to play ahead of him fairly. So he was trying to find a different solution for him, and Arda didn't really look comfortable in that position, understandably so. And then we kind of just lost him in the depth chart. And then he came back, and he's just over eager. I
But I can see it. But you said it on the right hand side.
Yeah,
He's
that's the
not. He's
problem.
a he's a third option
Yeah, that's the problem.
in the midfield. Luke, a 40-year-old Luka Modric is still considered above him in the picking order.
Yeah,
And Luka Modric turns 41 next season, and he's still going to stay to Madrid, and he's still going to play above him. Ceballos is going to come back next season. I've seen reports of Nico Paz wanting to Madrid wants him to come back. I don't want Nico Paz to come back at all. I think stay one more year at Como.
yeah. There's no
From
rush with Nico. Yeah,
no rush at all. But I don't see where Arda can get any minutes at all next season. That's why. Why are we gonna? Why not give him the Nico Paz treatment? Go out for 1 year, not sell him, but loan him out for 1 year, and then when Carlo leaves, new manager comes in, he might get a bit more minutes.
yeah. I mean, you said it. His biggest problem is that Rodrigo and Brahim ain't going nowhere, and they deserve to play.
Hmm.
And they're young, you know. It's not like we're phasing them out at some point. They're gonna be here for like 5 years probably. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm just making years up, but they're young. They're gonna be here. So that's his biggest problem.
I think this has been a great therapy session. It's
I
been
enjoyed it.
it's been an hour therapy session. I think we've learned a lot from this team. If I had to tell you, I'm going to hit you with a few quick hitters before if anyone in the chat wants to ask questions, they're more than happy to. Our best three players this season so far.
Fede, Jude, Asensio, and Mbappe maybe join third.
Hmm. I agree. I've got the exact yeah. Wait, Fede first or Jude first, in your opinion?
Fede first.
Fede first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, just say I don't want to answer that question if you don't want to. The most three disappointing players this season.
Chouameni, um, this one's a bit unfair. Uh, Kamavinga, I think, had disappointing moments, but he looks great now.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to see. I wanted him to bounce back. Could throw Vinny in there. I don't think Vinny's been at his best. I think we need a better version of Vinny.
I fully agree. And I would put, someone said it perfectly, Rudiger as well. I don't think Rudiger's been
Yeah.
the best, but I think I don't blame Rudiger a lot. It's because of the excessive games and he's forcing to play him. Right now, gun on your head, the Vinny celebration.
Uh-huh.
Are we winning a treble?
No.
Double?
No.
One trophy.
We're winning the Champions League. Yeah.
What? 16th?
We're going to win the 16th this year. Yeah. Book it.
Book it.
Book it.
Allianz Arena.
I already have that in my calendar. Like everybody knows. Like family tried to book a cottage that weekend. I said no. I'm going to Munich.
Chat, I'm going to ask you guys to bring, if you guys want to ask Kian any couple questions. I saw a couple chats before saying, are you guys going to do this again? Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. I think we're crunch time now. We're hitting a perfect time of the season where I think we need more therapy sessions.
For sure. Yeah. You got to come on the Managerial Madrid podcast too. Also, are you going to come to London? We're going to do a show in London.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, April 9th.
I'm there. April 9th is what day?
It's the day after the Arsenal game.
That is on a Wednesday.
Sounds
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Are you going to the Arsenal game?
I am 75% going.
Okay.
I'm thinking this is where this job has created a lot of headache for me. Not this job. I mean, should we call this a job? Content creation? Is this a job now, or
Absolutely.
it's a job?
That's what I tell my mom anyway.
This has created a headache for me. I'm thinking, should I go to the game and witness Real Madrid in front of my own eyes? Or should I stay? Because I've been doing watch-alongs every game. Or should I rather do a watch-along, which will benefit me a lot as well? So what should I do here?
Just can't you do the watch along from the stadium? Just go live on your iPhone and just react yourself.
I've been torn.
Let the chat decide. Would you rather Faysal sit at home on his desktop to please you guys, or would you rather
myself.
would you rather him go in and enjoy himself and then vlog it? You can vlog it.
Vlog it. Yeah,
Post it that night.
Lose or gain money. That's the one. All right, chat. What's the questions? Ask Kian. Okay. Ask Kian if Lucas is more negative than Faisal. Ooh. Who's more negative?
I think Lucas.
Thank God.
I think Lucas.
Thank God.
Yeah.
God, thank God.
I think Faisal is more theatrical, dramatic. But he's more positive. Well, even you were surprised by Lucas's negativity, weren't you? When you had
absolutely,
him
absolutely. Yeah. I think I asked him.
He told Rodrigo to pack his bags.
He said, "I want Rodrigo out now." I asked him, "Do you expect Rodrigo to leave in the next 3 years?" He said, "Forget 3 years. I want him out now." I said, "Okay, first." Okay, that wasn't the answer which I expected. Is it that? I mean, is that really a question?
Has Zidane even considered a manger, like to eat in French?
This is a question. Assuming we sign Zubimendi, which midfielder would you sell if we had to sell one?
I don't know if this is cheating, but I guess Modric.
Yeah. Have we really maximized Asenio's strengths? No.
What do you mean? What else can we do to maximize it?
In order to maximize it, and again, it's not his fault, it's mostly having a consistent right back on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
I think there's been a couple games which he's looked out of position because he had to cover for a Lucas Vazquez.
Yeah, I remember I think it was during that stretch when Vazquez was playing right back, and there was a game where Asensio committed a penalty.
Hmm.
and people were blaming it. I'm not saying like it was a perfect challenge, but Asensio, there was a period where Asensio just had to do triple shifts playing with Vasquez beside him.
Yeah,
Like he was just constantly like going over because Vasquez got cooked, and now Asensio's guarding this guy, and this guy. And like, which center back is going to look great in that situation? You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Someone said, super chat from Leo. He said, "Can Cruz change this team if he was available?" Absolutely.
No brainer.
He would. This would be his system.
Cruz was a cheat code. He was a coach on the field.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What else do we have? How much would it hurt as a Madrid fan? Barca winning the treble for a third time.
Do we even need to answer this?
I don't think we should.
Yeah.
I don't think we
There's
should.
no words. Like,
Nah, yeah. Well, you know what? You know what? How about this? How about this? How about this? Go. You know what? Go back to that question. I wanna remix it very very quickly. Would you rather Real Madrid winning the league and Barca winning the Champions League, or Madrid win nothing and Barca win nothing? No, sorry, no. Of course, you would say yes because it's the league. Would you rather have Real Madrid win just the cuppa and Barca win the double, or we win nothing, they win nothing?
nothing.
Yeah. Ask Kian if he thinks Carvajal will go into coaching when it's over. I have a sneaky feeling.
Has he expressed that? I don't know.
He doesn't strike me as that person, to be fair, for a weird reason.
I want to see him be like the team's dietitian.
Oh
Get
yes,
everyone off gluten.
gluten free.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Assuming we get Dean Hodge next season, what would our centre back depth look like for next season, from start to bench to order, including Juan Martinez? That's a good question.
It would be Dean, Asensio, Rudiger. Right, now you have 5 center backs. I think if you can try to get off the Alaba contract, it's going to be difficult. I think his contract runs until 2026.
That's one more year. Yeah.
Yeah. Jean Martinez, no rush with him at all. He just put him in Castilla next season, call him up here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just coming off an ACL tear. I'm a huge believer of the guy. Including Jean Martinez, I kind of feel like you don't include him. Maybe bring it up, call him up for Copa. Just keep him in Castilla for a year and be patient with him. But I love the idea of signing Dean.
I'm surprised, by the way, you put Raul above Rudiger.
Oh, I wasn't really doing it in order. I was just kind of.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you meant. So, if we sign Dean next season, would it be Dean Raul or Dean Rudiger?
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Rudiger's going to hit the bench.
No.
Serious question though, based like on current form, who's better, Asensio or Rudiger? Asensio,
Raul.
right?
Raul, yeah.
Yeah.
But for next season, if we had Dean, I would still put Rudiger ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, Dean's still got to come here and earn it, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And last but not least, let's ask. This one. Ask Kian, do we actually get the best from Mbappe? Sometimes to me that we sometimes are too slow on his runs.
I don't think we've maximized Mbappe, I don't think we've seen the best of him either. I think like peak Mbappe from like 2022, let's say, even though that wasn't even his best goal scoring year, that version of Mbappe transcends any tactical deficiencies, like holes here, holes there, team not playing well. He just elevates himself to the spotlight and just takes care of business. I don't think we've seen that version of him yet. I think it's coming. And I agree that sometimes we're just. I also think it's kind of weird. I don't know how to verbalize this, Faysal. But like sometimes when you have like Vinny and Mbappe and Rodrigo and Jude, or like swap Jude in for one of those players, on a counter attack, and it's like 3 versus 2 or 3 versus 1, because you've had moments like that this season, quite a bit of them. It's almost like there's too many options. It's like
Yeah.
it's like too easy. Should I pass to Mbappe here? Should I hold on to the ball, beat this guy? Like, and it's just like I feel like those transition attacks haven't been efficient, because it's almost like this is a joke. Like,
I fully agree. We haven't taken advantage of any sort of counterattacks,
yeah, very
except for
few.
maybe the City game away from home, where we scored,
Yeah,
I think, 2 of them.
yeah, yeah.
But other than that, we haven't at all. But I want to. That was going to be my last question. But I think this is a very quick. I'm gonna end it with this one. This is a good
Okay.
question. What is a 10 out of 10 window in your eyes?
So this summer,
This summer, I will go first.
okay.
10 out of 10 is Trent is here. Get Dean. Get a left back. I don't care who. I don't mind getting Kian as a left back. Get a left back. I heard. Do you play, by the way, or no?
I do, not left back. Matt plays left back, actually. Matt, who's on the
What do you
manager,
play?
left wing.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have too many of those.
Give me what's the player profile?
It's like a less agile Cristiano. It's with a bit of Zidane grace mixed in there, and maybe Isco.
Zizou, Cristiano, and Isco.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Wow.
Keep in mind, in Canada, this cooks.
Listen, I need to see clips. I need to see clips. I want to see. Listen, we can screen share next time we're doing this. Next time we're doing this on your channel, I want to see screen shares. I want to see clips of you doing a Zizou combined with Cristiano and with a little Isco flair to it. I want to see that.
You got it. What about you?
In my heyday, yes.
What position?
Attacking midfielder.
Okay.
They called me Mini Isco.
Okay. Well, Isco's like already small as hell. So what?
Yeah, I know. I'm smaller than him as well.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm not the tallest. So when I see you for the first time in person, hopefully, a couple of weeks from now, you're gonna see 5'10".
You're 5'10"?
On an ideal day, yeah.
That's short?
On a perfect day, I'm 5'10".
Bro, that's even on my best days with like with like Air Force Ones on, I'm not 5'10".
Yeah, that's good then. But by the way, that day is. I mean, you'll see. You'll see. The chat with the right shoes, and those shoes doesn't exist. But listen, Kian, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me on, bro.
It's been a good therapy session. I hope you've healed. I've healed as well, and then hopefully this was good. Just to release some thoughts. We'll see you soon, and anytime, just shout at me. And yeah, bro.
Awesome. Pleasure. It was a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on. Great
chatting. You wanna drop anything? Tell anything?
Yeah. So if you enjoyed this, we have a YouTube channel called Managing Madrid. We go to all the games, and you can follow me on Twitter at Kiyanso, KIYANSO, and I'm sure Faysal will be on soon on our channel as well. And if you're in London, come see me and Faysal on April 9th. Okay. We're doing a show.
Amazing.
Yeah. Thanks, bro, man. Appreciate you guys.
Man. Take care, bro. But chat, this has pretty much been it. I appreciate you for coming on. It's been good. It's been fun. I will see you guys. The next time I'll probably see you guys is when actually? Where's Madrid playing next? Madrid playing when? Madrid are playing what? Saturday, Sunday? Saturday, Sunday. Oh, what? Oh, boss pay tomorrow. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here watching. I'm here, man. I'm here. Tomorrow, you'll see me here tomorrow. You'll see me here tomorrow, 100%. You'll see me here, 100%. But chat, I appreciate you coming on. Of course, Kian's YouTube channel is in the description. Go subscribe to his channel. He does some elite content himself after each game. He does the live streams. I did the watch alongs. Go subscribe to. Damn. That's pretty much a sign. Let's call it a day. And I'll see you tomorrow for the Barcelona Osasuna. Big up all of you guys, man.